I thought the 999 Nightglow Roses were for me. The crystal chandeliers? My dream proposal. Then the pack news flashed. Alpha Joe proposed to Nora. My own stepsister. His excuse? It's just political, Anna. We'll still have our ceremony. But when bonding day came, he stood with her at the altar. So I walked no screaming. No begging. Just cold, quiet revenge, and the scent of dying Nightglow Roses as I left forever. I was just dropping off some food for my mate, Joe Herring, when I happened to catch him talking to his beta, Oscar Payne, about the proposal setup. We'll need 999 Nightglow Roses in the ballroom. The carpet must be pure wool. And let's swap out the lights for crystal chandeliers in soft and dreamy tones. I told him what kind of proposal I wanted. And now, every single thing he said was exactly what I'd described. I never thought he'd remember everything that I clamped a hand over my mouth, shaking as happy tears rolled down my face. My heart was pounding with anticipation and excitement that it had been 10 years. I'd pictured this moment a million times, Joe getting down on one knee and asking me to be his mate. Anna, what are you doing here? He asked. He'd just wrapped up his call. When he turned around and saw me, surprise flashed across his face, followed by a smile that I pointed at the lunchbox, trying to keep my voice from cracking. I made this for you. Gosh, you're the sweetest. I'm seriously the luckiest guy alive. Joe gave me a big hug and polished off every last bite of the food I'd made. Back home, I couldn't fall asleep for the life of me. I just lay there, staring at our photo, thoughts running wild. When was he going to pop the question? Should I start dressing up more, just in case? Would he give me a heads up? What if I looked like a mess that day? Then what? I didn't even remember when I finally knocked out, but I was smiling in my sleep the whole night. The next morning, I woke up to a news alert that froze me in place. The Fongtooth Pack's Alpha Joe popped the question last night to Chief Healer Nora. Nora was my stepsister. She'd only just broken her bond with her mate and come back to the Fongtooth Pack with her pup. The mug slipped right out of my hand and smashed on the floor. This couldn't be real. Joe wouldn't propose to someone else. He wouldn't. I barged into the press event, only to walk straight into a scene that made my blood run cold. Joe had his arm around Nora, looking at her like she was the only thing that mattered. They stood in a ballroom blanketed with Nightglow Roses, soft, dreamlike light washing over the two of them. It was everything I'd ever dreamed of in a proposal, perfect in every way, except it wasn't meant for me. A reporter stuck a mic in Joe's face, and he answered with composed ease. Yeah, Nora and I've only known each other 2 months, but I'm certain that she's my fated mate. We're having the mate bonding ceremony in a week. His voice was just as steady and sure as it was when he told me he loved me at 18. It felt like someone stabbed me clean through the heart with a silver dagger. I couldn't stop the tears streaming down my face. How could Joe, the guy who used to love me like I was everything, let go of me and hold someone else? After the press event, I ran backstage and overheard him talking to his friend, Luke Felton. Alpha Joe, you just proposed to Nora out of nowhere. What about Anna? Joe's deep voice came through. Nora came back alone with her pup. Making her Luna helps her settle into the Fongtooth Pack. Anna will understand once she finds out. You set up the whole proposal just like Anna always wanted, and you gave it to someone else. Aren't you worried she'll find out and leave you? Luke asked, visibly uneasy. Joe chuckled and shook his head, totally sure of himself. She's crazy about me. I'll say a few nice things, and that'll be the end of it. Leave me? We've been together 10 years. Where would she even go? His confidence hit me like a bucket of cold water. 10 years together had given him the nerve to throw me aside for someone else. Like I'd always be there for him, that he had no idea that I'd be long gone by the time our love dried up. I went home in a daze. As soon as I got in, I crawled under the blanket and cried until I finally drifted into a sleep. When I woke up, I checked my phone. Joe had tried calling me a dozen times. I was about to call him back when the bedroom door burst open. The moment Joe saw me, the tension in his face melted. He pulled me, blanket and all, into his arms, nuzzled the top of my head, and said, "You were out cold. I kept calling, but you didn't hear a thing." A gentle smile played on his lips, his whole face glowing with affection. "Come on, get up. I went hunting in the woods and brought back an elk. I saved its heart for you." I stared at him in stunned silence, my eyes filling with tears. Would Joe finally tell me the truth? I knew he had his reasons. If he just came clean, I'd still forgive him. But instead he frowned and grabbed my phone right off the nightstand. "You saw the news this morning, didn't you? It's all lies. Don't believe any of it." Then his tone shifted, gentler now, as he reached into his pocket and pulled out a moonstone ring. "I promised your dad I'd look after Nora. That engagement story isn't real. You're my true mate. 1 week from now, we'll have our mate bonding ceremony." Joe slid the ring onto my finger, then gave a satisfied nod. Right then there was a bunch of noise downstairs. He froze like something had just clicked, then glanced over at me, a little unsure. "Anna, you know Nora just got back to the pack, and she's got a pup with her. She hasn't been able to find a place to stay. I told her she could crash here for a bit until she gets settled." Before I could say anything, he was already on his feet and headed out. Still in a daze, I drifted out of the room and saw the maids rushing around, dragging in bags. Joe and Nora were downstairs in the main hall, standing close. He had a 5-year-old boy pup in his arms. The three of them were smiling and chatting like they'd been a family forever. "Clear out the master bedroom upstairs. The other rooms are too cramped. Nora needs the space with her pup," Joe said. Without a second thought, he told the maids to clear out the master bedroom and move all of Nora's things inside, that I felt like I'd been punched in the chest. I couldn't even breathe. That room was supposed to be ours. I'd spent 3 years picking out everything in there. I'd poured my heart into that room, building it piece by piece into the future I'd dreamed of. That I'd even told Joe that no one was allowed in, not even us, until after our mate bonding ceremony. I hid all our memories in that room. We'll go through them together after the mate bonding ceremony, I told him. But we never got that far. Joe had them cleared out before we even had the chance. That I must have looked upset, because Nora glanced at me, and her smile slowly faltered into a nervous frown. Do you not want me here, Anna? I'm sorry, I didn't think you'd mind. I'll leave now. She snatched her pup from Joe and wiped her tears with the back of her hand. Joe caught her, his voice firm. You're leaving just like that? Where would you even go? Relax, you're staying. After calming Nora down, he came over looking kind of drained. Anna, she's got a pup to look after. Just let her stay for now, okay? She won't bother you, I swear. I opened my mouth, then closed it again. Finally, I just nodded and murmured, sure, let her stay. If Joe had already forgotten the promise we made, there was no use bringing it up again. I turned away, swallowing the lump in my throat as I made my way back to my room. Anna, wait. He called out. Joe stopped me in my tracks, mouth opening and closing a few times before he finally got the words out, clearly uncomfortable. Would you mind staying somewhere else for a bit? Worried I might take it the wrong way, he quickly added,